train.
Morning everyone, this is a Q&A featuring me, Alice, Nick's girlfriend.
Yes.
Nick's first Q&A ever. Thanks for all of your questions.
Yeah, absolutely. So the response was really good, both on Instagram and Facebook, and we had a few on YouTube as well. So really happy. We'll try and keep it brief. There's quite a few questions here. We want to try and get through them all. Hopefully it's a one-part video, but it might be a two. We'll just see how we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into it now.
I'll start.
I'll start.
Okay. Fine.
Okay. So I'll go on Instagram. So the first question from Rebecca Holly. So how did you guys meet? So a bit of a relationship question. And was it love at first sight or were you friends first?
Good and complicated question for us.
So I'll answer this one. We'll split it. So basically we met through friends. I had some friends that knew of Alice and some of her friends. So myself and a friend linked up in, I want to say year 9 at school.
I think year 10.
Year 10 at school?
But could have been year 9, yeah.
At a
Fete.
fete, yeah.
Yeah,
Fete?
a carnival.
Carnival,
something
yeah.
like that.
So we met there. Was it love at first sight?
Nick didn't even talk to me,
Yeah,
so
no.
he was so shy that he rode up on his little BMX with his friend Bruce, who he's still
Yep.
very good friends with.
Yep.
And they were so shy, they sat at the other side of the circle and didn't talk.
Yeah.
And I thought, he's cute and he had curly hair, but he's obviously shy or he hates me.
So I used to have a big afro back in the day, which my brother bet me $50 to grow for a year, and I did it.
It was cute, it was very cute.
So yeah, not love at first sight, but we both thought each other was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were friends first.
Mm-hmm.
So Nick dated 2 of my friends, and I dated a few of his friends as well.
Yeah.
Before we ended
It's a
up
small
getting
world
together.
here in Sydney.
But with the timing of us entering and leaving different relationships, it didn't really work out. But I knew that Nick was after me, I guess, is the best way to describe
Yeah,
it. 'cause
without
that's
sounding like too much of a stalker.
he wasn't a stalker, but he was persistent over a number of years. And so we ended up getting together at the end of year 12 while we were studying for our final exams. And it was very cute. We fell in love at the library after many years of friendship.
Perfect. So I'll say another one. So from Your, thank you for this question, man. What are your and her long-term and short-term fitness goals?
You start?
Yeah, so short terms, obviously, I kind of think of that in the next 6 months to 1 year. Basically, stay healthy is my number one goal. If I get injured and I can't train, I can't progress in anything to do with bodybuilding or my fitness goals, I guess. So stay healthy, keep progressing and having fun in the gym, and outside of that, just building my personal training and online coaching business. So long term would be compete again in 2018, definitely, or maybe potentially 2019, depending, and try and place a little bit better, but also just better the physique that I had in 2015, which I think I can do. I'm positive I can do.
Nice. My short and long-term goals are pretty much the same, which are just to have fun and to enjoy what I do. So I do yoga and I go to the gym and sometimes I dance, and that's what I like to do. I don't have any specific goals, but just have fun.
Perfect.
I'll have a question?
Yep.
Okay. David Tat asks, how do you stay motivated to train? I'll ask this of you.
Oh, that's a hard one. To be honest, it's got to come from within. I know you can watch all the videos in the world, you can read all the books in the world, but at the end of the day, you've just got to ask yourself: am I doing the right thing? Do I enjoy this? If the answer is no, and it's a chore every day just to go to the gym or go for a run or do your yoga, then long term, it's not going to be sustainable. So I'm not telling you to stop, but maybe either you could, I'm not saying hire a coach, but you could look for some assistance out.
Some external motivation.
Some external motivation. But yeah, typically for me, it's a bit different, and it comes from within. I don't know. What about you?
Yeah, for me, I have to be accountable to someone else to get to the gym or the studio or whatever it is I'm doing. But that's me. I need external motivation. For Nick, he would be training no matter what.
Yeah.
I think
don't
even have any difficulty getting out
even
of bed.
if I was the last person on earth, I'd still go to the gym every morning. In saying that, I did have a coach for 3 years.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. And I think that's important as well, because you know that you don't have all the answers. I don't think anyone does. But I think in terms of motivation, that does come from yourself.
Yeah.
Good one.
Good.
You go.
So we're getting through them slowly. So from Zach P Fit, were you always so flexible with training, nutrition, lifestyle in general, or was there some time when you were super strict? If so, how did Alice cope with that?
Good question, Zach.
No, I used to be. I guess it was about probably 4 years ago now that I told you I wanted to compete.
Yeah. We were in a Chinese restaurant and we were eating dumplings, and Nick said, just letting you know that in 5 months' time I'm going to be competing in a bodybuilding competition. And I was so confused about what bodybuilding was. I thought that you had to take steroids to do that. I was worried about his health and I didn't know anything. So from then on we learned a lot together.
Yeah, absolutely. Before that I was a big bro. I was... Honestly, I would set my watch. I would set my watch every 2.5, 3 hours. Made sure I ate straight after I trained. Would often train. I think I honestly trained 2 times a day for about a year. Yeah. Probably why my body now still falls apart. So I wasn't always really that flexible. I was quite strict. But in the same time, at that stage in our relationship, we weren't living together. No. So I think that was more behind the scenes kind of stuff.
Yeah, and we've always given each other space to do things that we enjoy. So it wasn't really, I didn't mind that he went to the gym every single day, sometimes twice a day. It didn't affect me or bother me at all. No. Quite independent in that way. Yeah. But eating, he used to just eat like the most basic of foods, like a bro, and I don't think he really enjoyed food. And for me, that I didn't understand that at all. And I think that since becoming more flexible, you've found a lot more enjoyment in food.
And going off that last question from Zach as well, did going through prep put a strain on the relationship? And is deciding to compete a decision you both made? And what are some of the things you do to keep your irritability low during prep?
I guess there's two parts of that.
Yep.
Because you've competed twice. So the first time that Nick competed, we just started living together, and that was actually fine, but your mood was definitely worse off. Yep. Not in terms of being irritable, but just a bit spaced out. So before Nick's first competition, he was getting up in the middle of the night to eat, to start his macros for the next day because he couldn't sleep, and wouldn't look both ways when crossing the road because he was just out of it. So I think that was a bit difficult because you sort of weren't there. Yeah,
and then I think the first prep's definitely harder, but every time you diet, it does get easier. Obviously, those last anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks are going to suck no matter who you are because you've just got no body fat on you. Your joints are going to ache. You're constantly going to be thinking of food. But for the most part, I guess trying to stay positive and space out your meals is going to help your partner. So for my second prep, I made sure that I'd always keep, say, 800 or 900 calories for nighttime. So if Alice and I did want to be a bit more flexible and go out, I know when we went out, it was just like a burrito or...
It was still nice
pretty
to
trackable.
Go out, though.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I understand that you're limited sometimes in your options that close to a show.
Yeah. In
terms of deciding to compete being a decision for both of us, like, I wouldn't expect you to ask me if it was okay. I think I would want to support you whatever you wanted to do. Yeah, I knew
I didn't really have to ask, but I just brought it up. I was very nervous the first time I mentioned that I wanted to compete, but now it's just part of life, I guess.
Yeah.
Do
Definitely
you
got easier.
want to take one?
Yeah.
So I'll do this ideal date together.
Oh yeah.
Just any. I don't really have an ideal date. Probably somewhere at a nice restaurant that serves up some sort of tasty food, either like some sort of Italian or a nice steak, and then
and I think these
some
days
wine or
it would also be bringing our dog with us. We're those people now, and we'd love to take Louie with us, so maybe a picnic. Or
picnic's always good.
And we do love seeing movies as well, but definitely food.
So nothing fancy there, Zach.
And so Charles has asked, did Nick have a diva moment during prep, and how did I handle it?
I don't think I had a diva moment.
No, I don't think you did, but probably one of the harder parts of the prep was Nick not feeling like being very social or staying out late at night if other people were eating, or if we were going somewhere where the food wasn't really agreeable. That was probably harder.
I know for myself, during prep, I just find that just small talk with people, even people I really like, it does become a chore. So if you're going out for dinner, and say dinner and drinks, you can't really drink, you might have 1 or 2 beers. You'll get to say 10 p.m. and you just start thinking, I've got to go to bed. The longer you're up, the hungrier you get. So it kind of plays on your mind, and you're not really there in terms of the social. You're not the funnest guy in the room.
Yeah, that's not really a diva moment, but it was kind of annoying.
So, is there anything you know now that you wish you knew back when you started training?
Good question.
From Emily Hessel. Everything, to be honest. When I first started training, I honestly thought that the harder I worked, the more I was in pain, the more work I did, the more I would grow. And vice versa, the stricter I was on my diet, the more progress I would make, the bigger I would get, the stronger I would get. So now I know that none of that's true. You've got to work within your limitations. So you've got to hit certain amounts of volume for the week in terms of your training. So you want to have a certain amount to hit, and you want to try and add, over a long period of time, add that up, like building a house, I guess, laying bricks down, laying the foundation. But it's also with the food, just tracking everything, or just being accountable and getting in your protein, which it doesn't so much matter about what type of food you're eating, as long as you're getting in your fruit and veggies.
Absolutely.
Bit of a boring response, sorry, but yeah. Do you want to go?
Simon asks, does dieting have an impact on where you go to dinner on dates? Is it difficult, or are you both eating relatively the same meals?
Yes, it does have an impact on where you go when you're dieting. So you just can't go out and have anything. You got to think of what they cook the food in. Is there heaps of oil? Is there butter in the mashed potato? All this stuff. The size of the meals. So typically you've got to pick and choose your battles with that.
And we have some favourite places that we go during your prep. And I still really enjoy those. No, we don't eat the same food, and that's fine. Nick doesn't enforce his diet on me, thank God, because I wouldn't stand for that. And there's plenty of options. There's always a way to make your food either a bit healthier by holding something, or you can add something